Good day, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. I hope everyone's doing great today. It is nice and cool here in Alabama. The temperature right now, I believe, is in the mid 50s, which for Alabama, it's cold, but it is what it is. I still rather have this than to be back up in Indiana where I didn't even look at what the temperatures up there were, but I'm gonna assume they're probably in the 20s or 30s or some crazy stuff like that, and they're getting snow. So I'm happy to be here where it's at least in the 50s and we don't gotta deal with snow for the most part. So, yes, this video is gonna be about making life great again. I know that's super basic, but that's what the video is going to be about, making life great again. In the midst of all the turmoil that's going on out here with people losing their jobs and inflation and scamming going on and just whatever you want to name that's going on that's negative is going on. And by the way, for those of you that don't like my doom and gloom videos, it is what it is. I'm just a messenger. I'm not the one causing none of these issues. I'm just simply talking about the issues that are transpiring out here. And on this channel, I keep it real. I try to stay relevant with what's going on out here. So if you're looking for a channel that's going to sell you a bunch of fantasy, then you need to go somewhere else. I'm just saying. But if you're willing to, I guess, be realistic with what's going on out here, then welcome to the channel. But today's video, I'm going to try to not be so doom and gloom. I'm going to try to be positive today. Because even during hard times, we all need to find some peace. We all need to find happiness. And how do you do it? Well, there's no one way to do it. There's no right and wrong way to do it. Well, there is, but that's a long. I ain't gonna get into all that. But we all need to find happiness within ourselves. How do you do that? Well, I'm gonna use myself as an example, as I typically do when I talk about these type of topics. Now, for me, the way that I go about finding happiness in times like these is, for one, I've decided to quit talking about politics. In fact, I decided to quit worrying about politics. I mean, I'm not saying that politics are not important, because it is, but just due to all the shenanigans that are going on in politics, and I don't care what side of the aisle that you're on, it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't matter. There's shenanigans going on in politics. So, and if you notice, I don't talk about politics on this channel no more. And one of the reasons why I no longer talk about politics on this channel no more is because, honestly, I don't think any of us knows the truth about politics, whether it be on the federal level, the state level, or even the local level. And as I said before, and I'll say it again, the majority of us don't have the money to purchase politicians that will then be willing to manipulate whatever power structure that we need to be manipulated. None of us have that kind of money. And most of us, when it comes to voting, some of you might get mad when I say this, but it is what it is. But most of us, when it comes to voting, we're simply voting for who we believe is the lesser of two evils. And I'm going to leave it just like that. So, given the fact that I don't believe any of us will ever know 100% the truth when it comes to any level of politics, I no longer talk about politics on this channel. I'm and you know, from this day on forward, I'm not even going to worry about politics. My attitude is whatever happens, happens. If something transpires and I need to address it, I'll address it. But other than that, I'm not going to worry about it because if I worry about it, then I'm going to get mad. And what good is it going to be to get mad? It ain't going to do any of us any good to get mad. And there's a lot of people out here that, due to politics, are walking around with a lot of anger, with a lot of hate. I mean, there's a lot of people in these more, well, I ain't gonna say a lot of people, but there's a alarming amount of people in some of these more conservative states that are full of hate. And they're doing bad things to people based on their race, based on the fact that maybe they're not American citizens. And I don't believe in all that. I really don't. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, I don't care if someone is illegal, so to speak. I mean, they're here, it is what it is, and they deserve to live like anybody else deserves to live. So yeah, from now on, I am no longer worrying about politics. I'm not even going to exert any energy into following it real closely as I did for a hot second. It's not worth it. I mean, to me, you got a lot of people out here that when they follow politics, they get sensitive, they get angry, and that anger turns into hate, and it does no good. It does no good. It's not going to put money in my pocket. It's not going to improve my health. It's not going to help out anybody. It's not going to help me out either. So what's the point? There is none. So one thing which I no longer will worry about is politics. Like I said, whatever happens, happens. If something happens and it affects me or anybody who I care about, then I'll deal. Then I guess I'll address the issue accordingly. But other than that, whatever. It is what it is. And another thing that I do to try to stay in positive spirits while I'm trying to figure life out myself is I might watch some van life channels. Now, even though I would never live van life full time myself, I do find some of these van life critters rather interesting. I find their build interesting. Some of the places they go, I find that interesting. The work that they do in order to stay on the road full time, I learn from that. So yes, I do watch a lot of van life channels just to get my mind off of the craziness that's going on out here in society. And eventually, I'm gonna be out here on the road too. When, I don't know. I gotta figure out some stuff. So, but yeah, I do watch a lot of van life channels because it helps me escape the craziness. It clears my mind a little bit. And I also do watch homestead channels. Not the ones that are full of drama, but the ones to where people are actually utilizing their land and they're growing stuff. Because you got a lot of homestead channels out here that to me are garbage. They used to be good, but they're garbage because they ain't really doing anything that's homestead related. They're just doing their videos to me, I don't learn from them. It's full of drama. And every video they make, every 2 minutes, they always got some sponsor. So I don't deal with those channels. At least I try not to. I deal with the homestead channels that are more authentic, to where they're actually growing stuff. They're actually utilizing land. Now, some of the stuff they do, I'm probably never going to do for one reason or another. But there's some of the other things that they do, and I'm thinking, okay, I could adopt some of those ideas myself on my piece of land at some point. And I do watch a lot of traveling channels where people travel all over the country. Maybe they travel globally. Because watching some of those channels, I learn from those channels. And again, it takes my mind off of the craziness that's going on in society. And for me personally, and I would advise every African American person does the same, I tried to not watch too many channels to where, how do I put it, to where they talk about racism. Now, we all know that racism is alive and active in this country. Not only is it alive and active in this country, but it's also alive and active globally, if you want to keep it completely honest. And when it comes to racism, my attitude is okay, I know all the bad actors. Okay, this person, this group of people and that group of people, they owe black people, whatever, whatever. They stole from black people, blah, blah, blah. I don't say all that in a way that I'm not trying to be disrespectful for those of you that are sensitive, for those of you that are sensitive about that kind of stuff. But to me, it's not going to do me no good to know all that kind of stuff and to put that type of stuff in my head when there's not a damn thing I can do about it. I mean, what am I going to do with that information? Be mad? Am I going to go out here and hate this one and hate that one because they stole from my ancestors or they're stealing from black people today, apparently, supposedly? No, I'm not. I'm going to live my best life. I'm going to do what I got to do for myself. And that's all I can do. I mean, at the end of the day, the only person I can control is me. I can't control this one, I can't control that one, and I'm not trying to. And like I mentioned before on this channel, whatever opportunities are available to me for me to do better in some way, I'm going to take advantage. Whatever I need to do to survive within legal means, I'm going to do. Whoever is in my corner, I don't care what race they are. I don't care if they're male or female. It don't make a difference. If they're in my corner, I'm in their corner. It is what it is. I'm not wasting my time watching a bunch of content that talks about race, that talks about black history, that talks about how black people have been done dirty in this country. I mean, because to me, I mean, I'm on, to be honest, back when I was younger, I used to watch that kind of stuff. And despite my upcoming, it got to the point where I was watching so much of that stuff that it began to mess in my mind. I began to notice a side of me that was ugly, that I didn't like. I began to look at things from a lenses of black and white, which I did not like. I hated that part about myself. I hated that. I had to get rid of it. I had to reject it. I had to throw it away. And I'm glad I did. Because I refuse to be a victim. I'd rather be a victor. I refuse to be a loser. I'd rather win. So that's another thing which I quit doing. I quit taking in a bunch of content that deals with things that are, I'll just say, racial. I mean, do I watch it sometimes? Yes, I do. But I don't let it get to me like I used to back when I was younger. So for all of you, for those of you that are black, maybe you're lost, maybe you don't know where you want to go in life, maybe you're pissed off, you're frustrated, whatever the case might be. If you take in a bunch of content that talks about racism, you might want to ease off of that, at least for now, at least until you get your mind right and you get yourself on the right track in life. And also, I am working on my diet. I am also working on my health. I'm going to the gym more. And also I try to get outside every day and walk around my land, sit down and do a video like this, because even though I'm making this video, I'm still taking in fresh air on days where it's sunny. I get a little bit of vitamin D. Unfortunately, today it's overcast, it's cool, so that's not happening, but I'm still getting in some fresh air. And I'm still looking around and I see nature, so that's therapeutic for me. So those are the things that I'm doing to add a little bit of happiness in my life, to keep things positive as I can in the midst of these crazy times out here. So that's all I got for this one. Hopefully, you guys got something out of it. And whatever you're doing to add a little bit of happiness into your life, I would love to hear from you in the comments on that. Whatever you're doing to make life great again, to make your life great again, I would love to hear from you in the comments. And on that note, stay blessed. I'll catch you all in the next one.